What's happening, you guys? I'm TJ Herman, aka Rel2G on YouTube, overrated_Rel on Twitter. Welcome to week 14 of my 2014-2015 NFL season. Let's get straight with our week 14 picks. We got Thursday night football tomorrow night. We got the Dallas Cowboys on the road facing the Chicago Bears. I'm not picking the Bears anymore this season. This is one of these games that I want to see the Bears beat the Cowboys, but doubt it, because seriously, Jay Cutler is a mess. Dallas coming off a big loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. My Philadelphia Eagles on Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys will rebound in this game, and I'm going to tell you to pick the Cowboys over the Bears on the road in Chicago. That's my pick for Thursday night football. Sunday, we got the New York Jets on the road facing the Minnesota Vikings after that loss to the Miami Dolphins on Monday night. The Jets, I'm telling you, will not win another game this season. Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to tell you to pick them because they're awesome at home. Teddy Bridgewater doing his thing, and don't forget Matt Isaiah. He's doing it big for them as well. I'm going to tell you to pick the Vikings over the Jets in Minnesota. We got the New York Giants on the road facing the Tennessee Titans. The Titans didn't even do anything last week. That Matt Murray, he got injured in the game over the Houston Texans. He is scheduled to play this week. We'll have to see. What the New York Giants last week just couldn't do anything to those Jacksonville Jaguars. They were up 21-3, but they got pounded in the second half and wound up losing that game by 1 point. What is happening with the Giants? I think it's John Coughlin's time to go. He should have went after last season because he didn't do crap after this winning season in 2011. Couldn't do absolutely nothing in 2012. Definitely wasn't doing anything in 2013. And he's definitely not doing anything this year. So I think this is Tom Coughlin's time to go as head coach of the New York Giants. But I think the Giants will have enough to win this game. Odell Beckham Jr., he expected to get 2 touchdowns. We got the St. Louis Rams at the Washington Redskins. The Rams are surging, even though they're 5-7 right now. Washington don't really have nothing to play for. Colt McCoy made his return as quarterback and didn't do too bad against the Colts, even though they got blown away. And the Rams over the Raiders last week, 52-0 in St. Louis. I'm going to tell you to pick the Rams over Washington. We got the Baltimore Ravens facing the Miami Dolphins. Ravens upset me last week with that 1-point loss to the Chargers. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins, who I told you to pick against the Jets, did just that and beating them by just 3 points. Dolphins are tough at home, even though they lost a tough one to Green Bay, and they're a pretty good team on the road, but they're playing at home. And the Ravens, they're not such a good team on the road like they are at home. But I'm going to tell you to pick the Ravens over the Dolphins in Miami. The Carolina Panthers against the New Orleans Saints in the NFC South battle. Both teams are struggling, but the Saints beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh last week by just a few points. It was a blowout, but the Steelers came back. The Panthers, they're just pitiful right now. They couldn't even beat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota last week. Like I said, the Panthers will not win another game this season. I picked the Saints over the Panthers. We got the Houston Texans on the road facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston Texans with Ryan Fitzpatrick really put it on to those Tennessee Titans last week, and you got to look out for a man named J.J. Watt. He plays defense, but now he's playing offense. They're making him like a receiver, and he's already caught 2 touchdown passes. Little tricks that Mr. Bill O'Brien got for his Texans. Jaguars getting a win for the second time this season. Jaguars defense, they're strong, but their offense is still mediocre. So I'm going to tell you to pick Houston over Jacksonville. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC North battle, because both teams are pretty good. Steelers are 7-5, Bengals are 8-3, and of course the Bengals just got past the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 1 point, even though they could have lost, but Tampa Bay had too many men on the field just as the game was about to expire, and the Steelers just couldn't do anything against the Saints, but they still made it a game. But Ben Roethlisberger wasn't his best. But I think Le'Veon Bell and Ben Roethlisberger are going to be that team this week when they should have been the team that they were against the Saints. I'm going to tell you to pick the Steelers on the road to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Indianapolis Colts at the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel took over for Brian Hoyer in that game against Buffalo last week. This week, Manziel's back on the bench. Hoyer is back on the field. Is that a mistake? You guys let me know down in the comment box. The Colts, proven to be that team in the AFC South. This is going to be a tight game because the Colts are on the road facing these Browns. Browns do play well at home. I don't sense much difference here, but I should have simply said that they could have just kept with Johnny Manziel because I think the Colts shouldn't have no problem beating these Browns on the road in Cleveland. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing at the Detroit Lions. Like I said, Josh McCown, he almost upset the Bengals last week, but of course that penalty kind of killed everything for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Don't forget Mike Evans, still the man as a receiver for this Tampa Bay offense. Meanwhile, the Lions are really putting a clinic at home at Ford Field. They beat the crap out of the Chicago Bears on Thanksgiving Day. When you got Stafford and you got Megatron and as well as Joe Bell, Reggie Bush, we're not sure if he's going to play this week, but it doesn't matter because they got who they need. I'm going to pick the Lions at home to beat the Buccaneers in Detroit. Late games, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos. Who am I to suggest the Broncos can win this game? They can win this game, even though the Broncos against the Miami Dolphins were losing 2 weeks ago, but they pulled out and won the game anyway. I guess they're one of those teams that they can lose early, but Peyton Manning and company can find a way to get back in the game and win it. I see something like that happening again because the Bills' front line on defense are that good. It's the offense that kind of worries me because you got E.J. Manuel on the bench, and of course you got Kyle Orton still trying to be this veteran quarterback that he's supposed to be. Remember, the Bills have 2 wins in a row, but I don't think this win this week will be the third. Give the Broncos a win at home against the Bills. The Kansas City Chiefs on the road facing the Arizona Cardinals. Chiefs losing a very tough game against those Broncos at home at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday night. The Arizona Cardinals couldn't even do anything to those Falcons on the road in another dome stadium that I wanted them to win, but couldn't do it against Atlanta. I'm still not certain about Drew Stanton. Stanton had a very rough game last week, and he usually doesn't play rough at home, but when you need a quarterback right now, they need somebody in Carson Palmer because he is that veteran quarterback for the Cardinals, but I don't think that's going to happen. People are calling for the Cardinals to win this game at home. I'm going to tell you to pick the Chiefs to beat the Cardinals in Arizona. The San Francisco 49ers on the road, just a few miles away, facing the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders just couldn't do anything to those Rams last week, 52-0 on the road. Now the Raiders, after beating Kansas City a week and a half ago at home on Thursday Night Football in rain-driven Coliseum. Now the 49ers is a 7-5 team, but don't look at their record. Look at the team. Colin Kaepernick not having his best season thus far. I think John Harbaugh may end up resigning as head coach of the San Francisco 49ers should the 49ers not make the playoffs, even though I've had them beating the Seattle Seahawks, but that's not going to happen. Look like Arizona may end up winning the NFC West. 49ers should win this game on the road against the Raiders, but I'm still not certain about which Colin Kaepernick we're going to see. Tough to call, but the 49ers should win it against the Raiders. The game of the week, the Seattle Seahawks are at the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. Going to be a match. Mark Sanchez was the UFC quarterback when Pete Carroll was the head coach of the USC Trojans. Now, he felt some type of way when he let him go 1 year later. Now, can that haunt Pete Carroll and bite him in his ass when Mark Sanchez take to the field against that Seattle Seahawks defense? Possibly. I think the Eagles played by far their best game of the season last week in Dallas on Thanksgiving by just stopping them all on offense, stopping them all on defense, and the Eagles went on to beat the Cowboys 33-10. I told you that they were going to do it, but no one expected a blowout in Dallas. Over 100,000 people was at that game from what I heard. I'm going to tell you to pick the Eagles over the Seahawks because the Seattle Seahawks defense is suspects. Richard Sherman, we have to worry about because he can be Richard Sherman from last season. He could be Richard Sherman in that game against the Cowboys and beat you. Russell Wilson is the only way the Seahawks can win this game. Tricks, read options, the Eagles defense has to see that. They will see that. I'm going to pick my Eagles over the Seahawks in Philly. Sunday night, we got the New England Patriots at the San Diego Chargers. Another big game for the AFC. Patriots against the Packers really had the lead in that game, but couldn't hang on to win. They're going to rebound. Chargers pulled out a win against the Ravens in last week's game, but they're playing at home, and this should be a very interesting game because Eddie Royals can be a factor once again against this Patriots team. The offense, I'm liking. It's the defense that's kind of worrying me about the Patriots. I want the Patriots to win this game, but the Chargers are too good at home. That's why their record tells the story. They're 8-4, and both teams could be 8, not even 8-4. Chargers can go 9-4 with the win. Patriots can go 9-4 with the win. But I'm going to tell you to pick the Patriots on the road to beat the Chargers in San Diego. And on Monday night, we got the Atlanta Falcons against the Green Bay Packers. All I got to say is Aaron fucking Rodgers. He's a beast at home. That offense is clicking with Randall, with Cobb, with Lacey, even with Nelson. The Packers will annihilate. You thought they annihilate the Philadelphia Eagles 3 weeks ago? Nothing compared to what the Packers have for those Atlanta Falcons on Monday night. Weather is cold, that frozen tundra, the ghost of Lambeau Field. Most teams do not win when you got Aaron Rodgers as quarterback in Green Bay. Okay, Google, what's the weather going to be like in Green Bay, Wisconsin on Monday night?
Monday night's forecast for Green Bay is 27 degrees and mostly cloudy.
Falcons play in the dome. Green Bay is used to playing in the cold. I'm going to tell you to bet on these Packers to put a beat down on Matt Ryan and those Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football. Those are my Week 14 picks. What are yours? Put your comments down below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching me for Week 14 this week. Check me back next week for Week 15. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also follow me on Twitter at @overrated_well. Here are my scores for these games.